All right, I'm here for DustUS's ongoing coverage of IEM Dallas 2023. I'm here with blameF coming off of their unfortunate loss against MOUZ, MOUZ Sports to end their run here in the Lone Star State. So I want to ask you first, can you sort of talk us through, I think a lot of people were expecting Astralis, especially with the way, Device has been playing, to sort of blow through MOUZ Sports. Can you sort of talk us through what do you think went wrong in the game plan for this game?
I think that they definitely had some new stuff on Ancient, like they were fighting mid way more than we anticipated, and yeah, we tried to explore their middle a little bit, and it didn't work as well as we would have liked. And then obviously also like we win the pistol but lose the second round, so yeah, it's kind of like you lose some unfortunate rounds where you have a lot of eco rounds and don't get the best economy. And on top of that, your game plan doesn't work maybe like as it should. So yeah, then it's just gonna be a rough game overall.
And but the one I think really bright spot coming out of this tournament is the fact that Device is back. He's effectively back as a world class opera again. And you've been with Astralis for some time now, but periods of your time with the team have been defined by the opera not necessarily meeting tier 1 top 10 expectations. How does it feel to have someone on the team who can literally take over the server and be a world class opera again?
I mean, it feels great, obviously. As many like world-class players you can have in a team, that's what you need, like in order to build a top team in the world for sure. You can see that on all the other big teams as well. That like the individuals has to shine if you wanna have a great team, and yeah, Device does that, so it's great to play with.
We've seen teams in the past kind of experiment with not having someone be super, not be a dedicated opera, especially teams like Liquid in the past. You mentioned there that, it's so important to have a device. Do you think a team can really be successful in the current meta if they don't have like a world-class opera anymore?
I mean, they can be successful, but I don't think they can be like one of the best teams for sure. I think like the AWP road has just become such a like star push that like you can see like all the best players in the world are all AWPers. Like everyone who's fighting for the best spot in the world or the best player in the world is all AWPers. Like if you're not posting up big numbers as an AWPer, then I think your team's never really going to succeed. Honestly, it's the most OP role, and every team is also like trying to set up the AWPer as much as possible. So yeah, I think for sure like if you don't have a good AWPer on your team, like you're gonna have a very hard time becoming a consistent top team.
Another area of positivity for this team in their run to the playoffs is I think really Buzz, but especially Altekz really came into his own during this tournament with some really nice, some very good highlights and overall strong performances for someone so young. As someone who's worked with a lot of younger players, for example, on Complexity, working with someone like Obo, how have you worked to help these young guys sort of find their place in Astralis, such a big org with such high expectations?
I don't think I'm doing anything out of the ordinary to help them, but I do think that they've been doing a great job. I think our results since we got both Buzz and Altekz together has been pretty good. Like we're getting to play off in the big tournaments and maybe winning some of the smaller online tournaments against some decent teams. So yeah, I would say that ever since we gotten that, you get like a lot of firepower with young guns as well. And there was the same in complexity, like Obo, as you mentioned, like they just bring so much firepower, and all of a sudden they win a random round for you, and that means a lot for sure. So I think they're doing good.
I also wanted to ask you too, about previously on, especially for example, in previous teams, you were the full-time IGL of the roster. Obviously now Glaive is Glaive and Astralis is the IGL, and you still have impact through mid routing and some certain maps. But would you ever be interested in becoming in just like the IGL again of a team, not necessarily Astralis, but in the future of being just an IGL again?
It's not really like a main goal of mine. I think I always said the same to all my teams. Like if my team needs me to do something, I'll always do it. But it's not something I go around every day and think about. Like I want to be an IGL again. Like I'm totally fine not being IGL, and I'm enjoying also spending time on practicing more individually rather than like only watching demos of other teams all the time. So I'll always do what my team needs to do, but I'm happy not IGLing.
And I want to touch on one other previous thing you've said. So, of course, Config hasn't been on this roster for some time, but you said previously he was someone that you really liked, you really enjoyed playing with, and someone you kind of wanted to spend, a portion of your career with. Not necessarily once again, only in a theoretical space. Would you still be willing to play with him despite, some of his past issues?
Yeah, I think like a big reason, not only one, but like maybe two big reasons I really like to play Config is one, obviously, like socially and out of the game, I think he's a great guy, and I've been knowing him for a lot of years as well, so I think I click with him pretty good. And on the server, he's very aggressive, and I'm not like the most aggressive guy, so I think it kind of like evens it out a little bit, and it makes it easier for me to like play like the way I like without feeling forced to do some crazy stuff. So yeah, I just think that's like I mix pretty good with him.
And you're back. So you're back here in Dallas, and I'm sure it brings up a lot of memories from you of your time, with complexity, with the complexity roster. And you were one of the original marquee signings. When excuse me, when they made the decision to move away from America to international roster, I was curious with that. Do you still have a good relationship with the the players from Complexity and the former management from Complexity you worked with?
Yeah, I mean the players I have a good relationship with, but I haven't played with them. Like it's all new players, but I think they're some funny guys, and I text them sometimes. But yeah, also like the management obviously is not the exact same as when I was there, but I always said like Jason Lake, he changed my life when he wrote me, and I'll always be really grateful for that. And I have a lot of respect for Complexity as an organization and how they treat their players, and I think they for sure are one of the best orgs there is out there, like no doubt about it. My time there was absolutely amazing, and yeah, I just hope the best for them.
And then one fun question for you. So I'm sure you're someone who's talked a lot about physical fitness and sort of the mentality of of translating that onto a server. Who do you most often see in those early day gym sessions before matches, coming down with you?
Like from my own team or from other teams?
Just here in Dallas or in general, who's someone who's lifting with you in those wee hours of the night or early hours of the morning.
I've been working out every morning since I've been down here, but I honestly haven't seen many other players. I think I've seen Semphis a lot down there, but that's a given. I think like some of the casters and analysts and stuff down there, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really seen anyone consistent down there every day. I know like some of the guys from my team goes there sometimes, but yeah, I've been a little bit alone down there.
So really, just you and Semphis just powerlifting together, essentially.
I mean, yeah, not together, but at the same time sometimes. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your time in Dallas before heading on to Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you.